So kind of like we said, we're working on the metal panels right now. We're kind of holding off on the south side of the building, just waiting for the steam line to be completed and backfilled. As soon as that's insulated and backfilled, we'll finish the metal panels on this side here. And that should pretty much wrap up most of the metal panels on the walls of the building. We still got metal panels to clean up on the roof side and then kind of wrapping around the roof that overhangs the existing Knutson Center. All the windows, so the two windows on this side, there's two windows in the offices and then the big storefront on the west side, those are going in next week. So all the frames will be in next week. The glass is coming the following week. Typically they don't put the glass in when they put the frames in. They put the frames in first, come back after everything is set and adjusted, and then install the glass. So that should be in next week too, or the following week, not next week. Other than that, as soon as we get all the metal panels wrapped up, you can kind of see the transition where the rubber is wrapped up over the roof there and the kind of the openings in the roof. As soon as we get all our metal panels done, our roofer will be back, and they've already taken all the measurements they need for the parapet cap is what we call it. So as soon as we're done with all our work, they'll come back, put the parapet caps on, put the scuppers in, so there'll be like a box on each one of those, and then the downspouts will come down from that too. So. I'd say in one of the next few weeks here, we'll be starting our exterior concrete as well, finishing up the rest of the sidewalks. We're waiting on a couple trench drains to basically allow the water to flow through the sidewalk. As soon as we get those here, we'll finish the sidewalks coming around the building and then tying into the existing hall here as well too. So. Might need a hand there, Ronnie. Oh. What's up, LT?
Staying calm. Going for a walk.
So as you can kind of see here, most of the interior framing is done. We do have a bit of miscellaneous items like wrapping some of the columns that we need to finish the framing on. The sheetrockers are getting started here today as well too, so they'll be doing all the outside walls with sheetrock and then jumping back in to do all the insulating and the sheetrock on the interior walls as well too. So kind of back through this way. This will be where the washer and dryer sits. It's kind of right in this area here. This is storage in the back room. Kind of not cold storage, but just dry storage area back through here. This will be like a shared bathroom for all the staff in back here as well. The couple recesses that you see on the floor here. This is where the fridge and freezer sit. I think, is this the freezer? This is the fridge? I can't remember which one's which, but fridge and freezer, one or the other is what's going to be on these recesses here. So when they come to assemble the walk-in freezer, it's almost like Legos for the most part, come in insulated wall panels. They basically set the floor panel in and then stack and build the walk-in around it as well too. So, kind of moving through here, you kind of see some of the mechanical items. Fire suppression is ongoing right now. The plumbers are working on some of the steam line connections, the heat piping. A lot of the in-wall plumbing and electrical has been complete. See a lot of that here. A lot of the electrical that they fed from underground versus running everything overhead just to save on space. So a lot of the electrical on this wall here, you don't see any conduits coming up above the ceiling. It's all fed from down below. Moving into this room here, this is kind of the food service area right here. You got kind of the station behind there, which is going to be kind of the cold food prep. This is going to be where all the hot food prep is going to be. There'll be two big hoods that sit above, right at the top of the ceiling here for all the cooking. Kind of following the soffit that you're looking at here, this is where the big hot serving counter is going to sit, is right below this soffit that you're looking at here. Kind of along that L wall there is where the drinks and desserts are going to be served from. Kind of right where that fire extinguisher desk is there is where kind of the check-in, check-out desk is going to be at as well. Kind of moving back here, these are the couple offices. The only two rooms besides the main one that really have a window are the two offices. So I think one of these is a shared office and then one is the manager's office. That's the shared office. Other than that, kind of moving this way as well, there's going to be a salad bar kind of out front, so this will be like kind of, I would assume, the hot serving area along this here. You can kind of see the floor box there. There'll be a salad bar right kind of in the middle, so students and staff can kind of walk between the two to get whatever they need as well. Back in this room here, this is going to be the dishwash area. So it'll be kind of a full U-shaped stainless steel counter. There'll be a hood here as well for the exhaust on the dishwasher. Coiling door will be right here, so when students and staff drop their dishes off, they'll be able to open this during when the building is open. Open this up, take dishes in, run them through the dishwasher. So this is kind of the dishwash room here. What else? What do you want to look at? Questions, comments? If not, we can move this way too. Coming this way here, this is going to be the main dining area. We finally got our door frames here last week. So this will be the main entrance from the dining area into the kitchen area here. It's kind of got a big glass top on the door. Each one of these doors I think has glass in them as well. So you'll be able to see through into the serving area from the dining space. Kind of the two windows here that you can see as well too. Originally there was going to be a projector, big projector on this wall. For budget reasons that got pulled out of the project originally. It sounds like they're going to be doing that internally, IT is, so I know Mike's been working with them on getting power and data. Same thing over here. This is going to be the big storefront, so obviously you can't see out now, but once the storefront is up and the glass is installed, you'll be able to see out and in from that side there. There's going to be 2 projectors along this wall as well. So they'll be motorized projectors, so they'll be able to drop them down with the push of a button. They're a double roller as well, so you can drop down like the shade, or you can physically drop down like the blackout rollout, so you can physically kind of darken this whole space too. So, other than that, kind of what you're looking at over here is coming in from the existing space. You can kind of see the wall that's built on the back side. It's just a temporary wall kind of during construction, just so we can tie in the new construction to the existing building. So as soon as we get all these columns here, these existing columns basically support the existing building's roof. So these have to stay. We basically fur around them, and we'll get sheetrock, so you really don't see the kind of the CMU look for each one of these ones as well too. So other than that, really not a whole lot of work inside the existing building. We are running the fire suppression system into the existing building as well too. So that whole building is going to be sprinkled as well as the new addition. So we're kind of working through that a little bit right now. Trying to get in there when students and staff aren't in there to get some of that work done as well. So yeah, these are the 2 hoods that you can see here, kind of in the big pallets. Both of those will sit side by side, kind of mounted along that back wall there above all the cooking equipment. And as far as what's that? I'm sure they are. I guess
They look a lot bigger.
Yeah, they are. They go together, so it's the whole length too.
Right. Yeah, I'm going like, oh, that looks a lot bigger than.
it's probably pretty close to a wall to wall on that
Wall
whole
back there,
that whole
yeah.
piece there.
It takes up the whole entire 6-inch wall.
Yeah, it looks much larger.
Kind of some finish related items. The ceilings in through here. This is actually going to get a cloud that basically runs from kind of that fire suppression pipe to that fire suppression pipe, and there's 4 or 6 feet on each side. So that cloud will hang lower. That's just allowing us to run ductwork and get that down above the cloud. Everything else kind of along the edge will all get painted, and that'll be kind of an exposed ceiling structure on the outside of the cloud. Moving into all the other areas, everything else in there besides the mechanic room in the back will have drop ceilings. Those vary from 9 foot to I think 8'6" in elevation. Some of the offices are a little bit lower. Most of the dining area and serving area there is all 9 foot. So
it'll look a lot different here in a couple weeks. 2 weeks is all the windows will be in.
Good.
So you guys come back in 2 weeks, you'll look a lot different. You want a lot different.
yeah, most of the wall finishes in here too is mostly paint throughout these. So there'll just be sheetrock and then a painted wall, just like you'd see in your typical house. When you get into the serving area here, this whole space here is all going to get FRP. So it's like a fiberglass reinforced material is what it is. It comes in 4x8 sheets that gets adhered to the wall on top of the sheetrock, so it's just a cleanable surface for what you guys need in the serving areas and cooking areas. So, like I said, this will all have drop ceilings. It'll be a couple inches above this soffit here that you see. So this soffit will have a bunch of light fixtures in it, you know, shining down on the serving counter. The ceiling will be slightly above that. Kind of what you're looking at here. These are the two supply and returns for the rooftop unit. So this unit here is basically going to serve for cooling and air movement for the whole space, as well as the hot water that comes from the steam line that we're tying into the building as well too. So the steam line will have the steam coming through. We'll have a heat exchanger on the backside there that basically there'll be a closed heating loop system in the building. So as the steam comes through, it heats that glycol water and circulates that continuously. So that's how you get your heat in the building. And then there'll be, whether it's a reheat coil inside the rooftop unit or reheats in the building on the VAVs to basically supplement the heat in the space. So yeah, so this is kind of the view from the front here. You get a better view of the brick, you know, the two separate colors there. There'll be a logo on the dark brick kind of, I don't know, 5 or 6 feet above the footing right there. As you can see, this will all be the storefront right through here. We'll obviously finish the metal panels above the storefront, and then we got soffit panels to finish as well too, but kind of need to wait until we get the storefront in at that location to get the soffit panels and the wall panels all timed out correctly as well. So same thing here, that parapet cap that I talked about going around our metal panels. It'll be the same product that goes around the top of the brick the whole way around the building, similar to what you see on the existing building here too. So other than that, there's really not a whole lot more work out here. We obviously got fine grading to finish up once we get all the sidewalks done on the backside, so that'll kind of happen. Kind of the last item that we finish outside the building is all the fine grading and that stuff too. So